On April 21st, 2025, Easter Monday, the Vatican fell into an eerie silence. Inside the modest Casa, Santa Marta residence, Pope Francis took his final breath at 88 years old. It wasn't just the passing of a pope. It was the end of a spiritual revolution. Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires in 1936, he was the son of Italian immigrants, and by all accounts, just a quiet boy with a curious mind. He swept floors, worked as a chemical lab technician, and for a while, dreamed of becoming a teacher. He even spent nights keeping rowdy patrons in line as a bouncer in the city's tango bars. He had a girlfriend. They were serious. He once wrote that if she had said yes, he never would have become a priest. At just 21, Jorge nearly died. A serious infection forced doctors to remove part of his lung. That experience, he later said, taught him the value of quiet suffering and the power of grace. It was during his recovery that he found a deeper calling. And in 1969, he was ordained as a Jesuit priest, known for their intellect, discipline, and service. His rise was not without controversy. During Argentina's dirty war, some questioned his silence. Others later credited him with secretly saving lives. He would spend years haunted by this chapter and determined to walk with the oppressed. He chose not to live in the Archbishop's mansion. Instead, he moved into a small apartment, cooked his own meals, and rode the bus to work. Even as a cardinal, he remained invisible. Then came 2013. Pope Benedict XVI resigned, a shock to the world. And the conclave of cardinals elected Jorge Mario Bergoglio. He became Pope Francis, the first pope from the Americas, the first Jesuit, and the first to take the name of Saint Francis of Assisi. He rejected the traditional palace, chose to live in a guest house, wore simple robes, drove a Ford Focus, and instead of preaching from a distance, he walked among the broken. He washed the feet of Muslim refugees. He hugged the disfigured. He welcomed atheists, LGBTQ+ people, and outcasts back in a dialogue with the church. He was not trying to be popular. He was trying to be real. Few know that Pope Francis secretly invited homeless people to the Sistine Chapel after hours, not for photos, but for prayer. He had showers and haircuts installed for the poor near St. Peter's Square, paid for by the Vatican. He visited this basilica before and after every papal journey. Alone, quiet, often at night. It's no surprise it's where he chose to be buried. In his final weeks, Pope Francis reportedly asked that no extraordinary medical measures be taken. He wanted to go home simply. No grand fanfare, just prayers. On Easter Monday, the world celebrated resurrection, while the Pope quietly passed from this world to the next. He wasn't a perfect man, but he was a different kind of Pope, one who spoke more about bridges than walls, about service more than sanctimony, a Pope who rehumanized the Church in a time of global distrust. He leaves behind no statues, no gold, just moments, touches, the sound of feet washed, and tears wiped. Pope Francis redefined what power looks like. And in doing so, he reminded us what God might look like too. 1936, 2025. A heart that broke for the world. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more stories that go beyond headlines and into the soul of history.